I'm a Sagittarius. I'm very keen on freedom. I love freedom. I love independence. I don't like to be tied down.
What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it?
Britney was not taking her medication as prescribed.
Free Britney! When do we want it? Now!
I'm sad.
What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a new video for you because the hashtag Free Britney movement is not over. Like maybe it was trending last week and nobody's really talking about it right now, but it is not over because Britney is still locked up in this conservatorship, which is horrible and detrimental to her health and her well-being. So get ready to pay close attention, grab a snack and wash it down with some hot tea. So a lot of you guys watched my last video, which was honestly a bop. It covered a lot of important things, but it did not cover the entire story. And I've been watching some videos on YouTube trying to figure out if someone has a video with the entire story, and they actually don't. There are little pieces all around the internet, but no one's really put it all together. So today I'm going to be telling you guys the entire story of the hashtag Save Britney movement. Before we take it back to 2008, I need to talk about some of Britney's social media posts. So Britney posted a video online where she was wearing a black dress and just doing her normal thing, and people commented in the comments asking her to wear yellow in her next video if she needs help. Well, in her next video she wore yellow. She made a whole caption about the bouquet that her florist made her, which appeared in the video for like 5 seconds, and most of the time she was just going back and forth in her yellow outfit. Then on that video someone posted, wear blue in your next video if you need help, and then she wore blue in her next video, which that video alone is so creepy, and there are so many things to it that I could break it down, but I'm trying to tell you guys straight up facts in this video, not conspiracies. So we could talk about MK Ultra all day, like trust me. I'm not like a sheep, I understand what's going on, but today I'm showing you guys the facts of the situation. Britney also has a weird tendency of posting pictures where it seems like she's locked up, like not literally, but she'll post pictures of a keyhole to the outdoors or like a cave, like looking over the ocean, like just some type of symbolism that she is locked inside. She also posted this on her Instagram, which I don't know why people aren't talking about it. It's a photo that says, I put myself in timeout until I can play nice with others. This may take a while. And she captioned a while, more like a decade, which to me is totally like a shot at her conservatorship, which again is totally corrupt. More recently, Britney posted a picture of a sunset, and in the caption, it's kind of a mess, but pretty much she references Planet 9. And at the end, she says, is this a planet at all? Like, what is going on with Planet 9? And the idea of Planet 9 is something that Rose McGowan, who is an activist, has talked about before. And Planet 9 is pretty much a place where people who have been through horrible things in their life can go, and it's a safe space. Rose actually posted on her Instagram Britney's post, and she was like, is Britney like trying to refer to Planet 9? As in my Planet 9, like my album is named after Planet 9, like this is a safe place for people who have been suffering for some time, and she brought attention to the hashtag Free Britney movement. But she's not the first celebrity to bring attention to the hashtag Save Britney movement. Like you've seen Tinashe tweet before, who has worked with Britney. Honestly, one of the most recent people to work with Britney, you know, they did their slumber party like music video, and that was a long time ago, but still pretty recent. Before we go back to 2008, let's quickly talk about these other posts that Britney has made. She has posted on Instagram captions that always happen to have timestamps, whether it says this was taken on Father's Day or this was taken 2 days ago. It's kind of weird that she likes to identify when something was taken. It almost seems like she's trying to leave a paper trail. You can pick apart her entire Instagram feed all day and her TikTok, and it's honestly a little bit disturbing because you can see she always looks uneasy. She's always kind of like a mess with her like makeup, and you guys know I'm a huge Britney Spears fan, so I'm not trying to hate on her. I'm just genuinely worried for her because she never looks like 100% put together. Now let's go back to 2008 when this all started. So on January 4th, Britney had her mega breakdown that broke news stories everywhere. Like I remember growing up and seeing the story online, and I was like, oh my gosh, Britney, like I stand, like what is going on? But she was in the middle of her custody dispute with Kevin Federline, and honestly, she just hit rock bottom. She had to have the ambulance come to her house and take her to the hospital. The paparazzi were swarming the ambulance like flies. They're honestly monsters, and they were so horrible to Britney back then. No wonder she was struggling with so much. They followed her to the hospital and she was locked in the hospital overnight. While she was released the next day on January 5th, it wasn't long until she was locked up again on January 31st. People claim this is her second involuntary hold. They don't think that the first hold was voluntary as well, but whatever. So she's on her second involuntary hold on January 31st, and a motorcade comes to her house to escort her to the hospital. So it seems like this situation was pretty planned compared to the first one when she was literally just breaking down and people were coming to save her. This time it seems like she was organized to go to this mental facility. And just a side note, the place that she was being sent to is not a great mental facility. Bridges to Recovery has 1 star and horrible reviews. Literally, a woman went there to cope with her divorce and she said it was a traumatic experience alone. Not even 2 months after her temporary conservatorship took place, which means she's not fit to take care of herself, she was featured on a TV show called How I Met Your Mother, and it just seems kind of odd to me that she is like incapable of taking care of herself, yet she can be working on a TV set. Then by September of that year, 2008, when all of this went down, Britney Spears walked home with the most VMA awards like that night. Like, please tell me why Britney Spears was given the most VMA awards but still is considered incapable of taking care of herself. The same month she won all of those VMA awards was the same month that her temporary conservatorship went to a permanent conservatorship. Sorry if I'm saying conservatorship right. I don't know if I am. Like, that word does not sound right. Conservatorship. Conservatorship? Like, ugh, I hate the word. I hate the idea. It doesn't really make sense to me. If you look at what a conservatorship is online, the definition literally says they are charged with acting in the best interest of their ward, which means they are supposed to make the best decisions for whoever they are taking care of. I just don't believe that this is a genuine conservatorship, because why would the paperwork claim that Britney has dementia and that is the reason why she is placed on this conservatorship? Because to me, she obviously doesn't have dementia. She's like been working all year. She's about to go on another tour next year. In 2009 is when she starts her circus tour. So why is she being placed on a conservatorship whenever she is literally working all the time, taking care of herself, and obviously she does not have dementia? Well, Britney has tried to get out of her conservatorship, and I think it's a really, really sketchy business, because listen to this voicemail she left to a lawyer online, which was leaked, and honestly, the worst thing that could ever happen. Like, can a lawyer just like be like, I don't know, genuine and take this voicemail and actually try to help her rather than leak it to the media and make it an even worse situation for Britney? Like, I don't know, but listen to the pain and the fear in her voice.
Received January 21st. At 12:29 a.m.
Hi, my name's Britney Spears. I called you earlier, but I'm calling again because I just wanted to make sure during the process of ending the conservatorship that my father has threatened me several times that, he'll take my children away. I just want to be guaranteed that everything will be fine with the process of you guys taking care of everything and things just being the same as far as my custodial time. That's it. Bye.
Then the years go on and Britney talks about how horrible her conservatorship and honestly her life is. She films a documentary series during her circus tour called For the Record, and she revealed a lot about her life in this documentary. I can't really bring up too much of the footage because I was already copyrighted on my last video. They were trying to get it removed, and honestly I feel like it's not even a copyright issue. I feel like they're trying to hide this story because they don't want you guys to know the truth. Under this conservatorship, she is not able to spend her own money. She's not able to drive a car. She's not able to vote, which we'll talk about in a minute, but she has pretty much no rights, and her father, Jamie Spears, gets to make all the decisions for her. Skip a few more years, and Britney is on her Femme Fatale tour, which is actually a tour I went and saw her on, and a lot of fans during this time thought that Britney was actually heavily medicated on this tour and kind of out of it. And I have to say, I saw her and Nicki Minaj perform, which was honestly one of the best concerts of my life, but Nicki was definitely a lot better than Britney was, and I don't think it was because Nicki's better than Britney, because I don't believe that, but I think that Britney was maybe heavily medicated and just kind of out of it. She definitely did not sing at all, but yeah. It was kind of a rough show, to be honest, but I was just so starstruck by Britney Spears that I did not care. I was so happy to see her. Then the next year in 2012, Britney actually became a judge on The X Factor, which was kind of a weird choice for her, but also really great to see her on camera and just working and like glowing. But fans who were concerned over the hashtag Free Britney movement and her conservatorship started questioning like what was going on. Why can she be a judge on this TV show, yet she is deemed like unfit to take care of herself? It just doesn't really seem to add up to someone who has dementia and has to have her parents take care of everything for her whenever she is literally working all the time. Then during the Glory era, which I love all of her albums, so like Glory is still like up there for me, like I listen to it all the time. She went on a show called The Jonathan Ross Show, and what happened was that she talked about her conservatorship on the show in front of the audience, but they actually cut it from the cameras and did not ever play it. And to me, it's really concerning, like why would they cut this out? Obviously the media is trying to hide something. I think this is a lot more than just Britney Spears running this gig. Like I think there is a team of people trying to run Britney's life and protect like themselves at all costs. Here's a little note on what happened from one of the fans in the audience. JR said that he knew she'd been really involved in making Glory and asked why it had taken so long to take control of her music. She said there's a couple reasons. I'm not going to go into the whole story. JR said, we know a lot of the story, you had a rough time. Britney said, yeah, so I've been under this conservatorship. I've been under the conservatorship for 3 years, which I feel like, I thought it was longer at this point. Like, wait, can we fact check? And I felt like a lot of decisions were made for me, so I really wanted this to be my baby, and I've been really strategic about it. So obviously it's a little bit sketchy that they cut this part out, especially because it doesn't seem like it's that serious, like she's just talking about the conservatorship, but I think she's signaling to her fans like I'm not happy about it. Then in 2016, Britney posted a picture with Hillary Clinton on her Instagram, and she actually tagged it with hashtag I'm with her, but supposedly her camp made her delete that part of the caption because she cannot vote under a conservatorship, so she's actually not with her because she doesn't have the right to vote, which to me seems completely like just what is going on? Like she should have the right to vote. Like she's literally working so hard at making the country money because she's being taxed, and it's just, to me, it seems so corrupt. And obviously at this point you guys can see there is something going on. Britney was still working really, really hard and making everyone a ton of money. And she had a new show coming up called Domination, which is another Las Vegas residency that she was going to perform. Well, she ended up tweeting and Instagramming to her fans that she will no longer be performing the residency because of her father's health. He was having some health issues and she wanted to be there for him. That seems really sweet and all, but do you guys remember that sketchy voicemail I brought up earlier? Well, this guy has spoken on the situation, and it doesn't seem like it's about her father's health at all.
Hi there. I cannot disclose who I am. Basically, Britney was in rehearsals for Domination. It came to Jamie's attention, Jamie Spears, that Britney was not taking her medication as prescribed. She was missing a lot of doses and just full on not taking them. So they got her to the doctor. The doctor said, okay, if you don't want these medications, let's get you on a new one. Well, she refused to take the new one. So Jamie said, either you take this medication or the show's off, and I'm pulling my support and you can't do it. Britney did not follow Jamie's instructions, and so he was true to his word. He pulled the show. He verbatim said, blame it on my illness. And that's when we get the early January Instagram.
I really don't like Jamie Spears at this point. I really don't think he has the best interest for Britney. I think he is totally corrupt. I mean, his grandson has spoken out on him, his ex-wife, his daughter, Jamie Lynn, like everyone has spoken out against him. So I don't think he's the man to be taking care of Britney. And actually a few days later, after she posted the whole like, oh yeah, like I can't perform because of my father, which feels like she actually did not post that. She was seen driving around with her boyfriend, getting some in and out, and she was driving, which is something that is really against the rules. Before I play a little snippet of the voicemail that speaks on that situation, I do want to mention that I think her boyfriend Sam is kind of sketchy. I honestly feel like he doesn't have the best intentions. Like, I want to see Britney happy, and he is honestly really hot, he's attractive, he's perfect, like, he seems like a great man or whatever, but I feel like he's low-key being paid to be with Britney, which I know that sounds like really horrible, like I don't want to be that person to say that, but to me it doesn't seem like it's genuine. I feel like he isn't always over there, like, do they live together, are they getting engaged? He doesn't really ever talk about her, he doesn't really ever post her unless like they post a picture on her page, he's allowed to post it on his page, but he doesn't really, like, you know, like obsess over Britney or act like he's in love with her, infatuated. Like, it just seems like they're on two different levels and their relationship just doesn't really make sense. I mean, I would love to see her happy with him or anyone, but I feel like if she was in a bad situation like this, like, he would be there to help her, not to just like work with her team and make her image look good.
Fast forward a couple days, Britney's still not following through with her medication. And as you guys have mentioned, she is seen with Sam driving. A big no-no on, it's a big rule that she broke.
I mean, maybe he does care about Britney because, like that lawyer said, it's a big no-no that Britney was seen driving the car around, and maybe he would have known better and stopped her. So maybe he's just along for the ride, but I feel like he's totally clueless when it comes to her well-being. It was January when all this went down, and at this point, we didn't really know what was going on with Britney until April when it came out that Britney was in a mental health facility. I think it's very sketchy that it took this long for that information to come out, and when you think back to that voicemail earlier on that I played, it sounds like she was in that hospital like from January rather than from April, but it seems like they're trying to cover that up because they don't want the fans to know that Britney's been locked up for so long.
Britney has been in the mental facility since mid-January. Of course, the statement yesterday said she entered last week. That is not true. She's been in there since mid-January.
Some of the news reports were saying that Britney went into the hospital voluntarily, but if you look at this article from the HuffPost, you would see Britney Spears reportedly tells judge that her dad forced her into a mental health facility. So I think she wanted other people to know otherwise. At this point, it was getting really, really sketchy because Britney has a conservatorship with her father, Jamie Spears, but there's also a co-conservator named Andrew Wallet, and he resigned from his position because he was no longer comfortable being a part of the whole Britney Spears conservatorship. And you guys can pause and read the legal wording right here because I totally don't understand what he's trying to say, but pretty much he wanted to get out of the situation, and if he wasn't let out, he was pretty much going to raise hell. Fans were starting to notice that this whole conservatorship was getting really sketchy, and when court hearings came up, people were protesting outside of the courts because they wanted the family and fans and everyone in the world to know that Britney was not to be in this conservatorship anymore and that Britney deserved freedom.
Free Britney! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it? Now!
At this point, I don't really know if Britney was going to court for her custody battle or for her conservatorship. It's not very clear. But Kevin Federline filed charges against Jamie Spears for allegedly hurting one of their children, which honestly I'm not surprised, and because Jamie pretty much owns Britney, that means Britney had to give up some of her custody of her children because her father was, you know, causing damages. I can't say too much on YouTube, but pretty much seems like her father, Jamie Spears, was hurting her children, and the father of her children, Kevin, was upset about it and took it to court. Like I said, I don't know if these videos or these protests were from court battles involving her conservatorship or her custody, but you can see people were definitely bringing up the conservatorship and trying to free Britney. Britney's fans are really passionate about her freedom, and they can see that she is truly struggling. I mean, watch this little clip where she talks about how Sagittarius is like freedom, which I think is a little message trying to say, hey, what's up? Like, I would like my freedom back.
I'm a Sagittarius. I'm very keen on freedom. I love freedom. I love independence. I don't like to be tied down.
Then another sketchy thing went down where this letter was released to the public, and it seems like Britney Spears is writing about herself in third person. You could pause the screen if you want to read the letter for yourself, but it looks like Britney is trying to say that she was set up and lied to, and that's why she is in the current situation that she's locked up in. It's a really sad letter, and I think it is her just trying to, again, get the truth out there somehow, because she is so monitored by her team and her father. It's hard for her to communicate directly to us. I think Britney is the queen of trying to send us hidden messages and get us on board with helping her, because you can see in her music videos, she will tell her directors, like, the only thing I want in my video is a cage. Like, I want to be caged up. I want to show my fans that I am locked up in the situation I am in. And it's really sad to watch, but it's also like disturbing to think about that these directors and all these people around her are watching these clear messages come through in her music videos and her art, and they're still not really stepping in to help her. That brings us to today in 2020. So in January, there was another court hearing because her doctor mysteriously passed away, the one who was taking care of her for the last decade, and the court was given files on Britney's care to review it and see if it was deemed appropriate, which to me, it's like, why are you waiting until this doctor is gone to see if he's providing Britney with the best care? But whatever. There are still ongoing court battles going on, and I believe there's another one happening this month on the 20th, and I'm going to be following this story like to a T because I am truly concerned about Britney and her well-being. But I am wondering if we will see any information on the doctor's treatment of her come up, or if we will see any lightening of the conservatorship, because I think people are starting to wake up to the story and understand that Britney is obviously in an unfair situation. I think there's a trend here of sketchiness and sus when it comes to Britney's care and her conservatorship and her business alone. I think all of her money is just being pocketed by her father and a team, because she is always wearing the same dress that she wore on the red carpet and just looking a mess, and I feel like she's not spending her money like some people are, like Cardi B, who's looking all clean and taken care of all the time. Britney looks like she is just, I don't know, like stuck inside with nothing to do. You guys were actually commenting in my last video. If you have not seen it, go check it out. But you were asking what happened to Jamie Spears, and I did a little digging to see what's up, but people are asking pretty much the same thing. You can see on Twitter people are tweeting, so is Jamie Lynn just going to stay quiet during all this? And it appears so. She is just on Instagram living her best 30-year-old life. She recently had a Zoe 101 reunion, which I love that song so much. Like, that was my show when I was younger. But other than that, she's been really quiet and not speaking up for her sister, so I think there's something sketchy there as well. Maybe she has to stay quiet because there are so many lawyers trying to protect this conservatorship and working with Britney's father. I have no idea. It seems really corrupt and heartbreaking to me, and for someone who's been working ever since she was a little girl until now and still working so much harder than so many other people have and made so much money, she is still locked up and treated like a child. So Britney deserves freedom and her financial, access. Again, she deserves to see her children more. She deserves to make decisions without her father's consent. And I think that Jamie Spears needs to back up and let Britney live her life. So hashtag Free Britney. You can go sign petitions below. I don't know if the petitions are going to do anything. I like to think they will, but like at the end of the day, nothing is going to save Britney unless we are vocal and keep talking about this story. So keep paying close attention, and send love to Britney because I think she needs it. And watch her social medias, because I think those are the best ways for us to try to get a glimpse at how she's doing, because she is trying to send messages to us, whether you can see them or not. They are there, so just look a little harder. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you check me out on Instagram at SL04N, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.